everyone, welcome back to Kids Church. This week is our last week in our series on creativity. You know, imagining what you can do because you're made in God's image. Well, today, our story is just a couple of verses from something called the Sermon on the Mount. That is, a lesson Jesus taught while he was sitting on a hillside, or maybe a big mountain. It's got some really important stuff about how we're supposed to love and serve and live following Jesus. You'll probably see a little bit of a science experiment happening. Don't worry, it'll all make sense in the end. So, reading from Matthew 5, verses 13 to 16. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how can its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything, but is thrown out and trampled underfoot. Now, what does all that mean? What does salt have to do with serving God? Well, did you know that salt has a couple different gifts and talents, a bit like you and me? We know that it makes things taste yummy, but did you know it can do other things as well? Back in the day of Jesus, salt was really expensive. It was nearly as valuable, in fact it might have even been as valuable, as gold. Can you imagine that? People wandering around wearing salt jewellery instead of gold jewellery? Maybe not. Anyway, the reason salt was so valuable is that it had the ability to preserve food in a day before they had fridges. So, you might have a nice, delicious piece of meat, but after a couple of hours it would get very stinky when it went off. But if you had salt, you could preserve it and it wouldn't go off. Kind of like jerky, which lasts for ages and is so delicious. So, salt has many gifts and talents, and one of those talents is helping keep things from dying. But if it were to stop being salty, to stop doing those good things, it wouldn't be useful for anything at all. So like salt, our many different talents have a purpose. We are to use them to help spread the word of Jesus, which, helps people not to die. But Jesus doubles down. You are the light of the world. A city built on a hill can't be hidden. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under a bushel basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Now let's check out that science experiment. That light looks pretty fantastic, especially considering all that's connecting it is a couple of paddle pop sticks connected to wires. But is it particularly useful if we hide it under a bushel basket? No! The light needs to be obvious for everyone to see. When Jesus is talking about light here, he's talking about the light of God in our hearts. The way the Holy Spirit shines through us. It's no use to anybody if we hide it away. We need to make sure that we're showing God in our hearts to everyone around us in all the things that we do and all the things that we say. Now, this is where this experiment gets really, really cool, because salt has a talent that they didn't know about back when Jesus was walking around on earth. And in fact, it can even be related to light. Now, when you make an electrical circuit, power is able to travel from the battery to the light bulb and turn it on. That's what happens when we connect the two probes that we've made with the paddle pop sticks and the aluminium foil. But if we were to put these two probes in water, what do you think would happen? Absolutely nothing. But watch what happens when we add salt. Bingo! The salt dissolves into the water and becomes salt ions, allowing electricity to pass through and lighting up our lamp. So be like salt. Use your many talents to conduct power, but not electric power, to conduct the Holy Spirit, so that you can point others to God so they can see how amazing He